Hey everyone, this is Ultra Runner. Welcome back to the channel. Today, the pre-order is live for the InArt Superman 1978 Christopher Reeve. You have two different offerings, which is great. We have a 2-pack and we have a single pack. The good thing is, for those who don't want Clark, you don't have to buy Clark, which is awesome. The fact that it's not a single pack offering for Clark, because a lot of people were talking about how they have the Hot Toys and are happy with the Hot Toys, or maybe they have a custom Christopher Reeve Superman and they just wanted the Clark. Well, technically you can say this Clark is a paywall behind the Superman, but honestly, I don't really consider that, because I would imagine more people are going to want Superman and have room for him versus having room for the 2-pack. Now, I will put links in the description below for InArt directly ordering from them if you are in mainland China, New Zealand, or Australia. And if you're in the States, I'll put it for 1/6 kit. Will Foxification has a code like he did for BBS, and I'll put that in the description as well for $10 off if you use this code. So definitely a great offering for kit on this for you guys. You know, $10 off is $10 off at the end of the day. The pricing for this ended up being really solid. So from InArt, you're looking at $539 for the 2-pack and $285 for the single pack. Not bad at all. Absolutely, I think that's pretty stellar. And you're looking at $669 from kit, and for the single pack, I'm sorry, for the 2-pack, and then for the single pack, you're looking at, was it $285? I'm sorry, $345 for the single pack. So it is a bit of a markup, but we understand. I mean, you're buying this from a reseller. So no matter what you think about Kit, you know, he is a reseller, and that's what he's got to do. So $6 difference on the single pack, and it's like $130 on the 2-pack. So definitely, I didn't even blink on this. I jumped up this morning as soon as I woke up, saw it was live, put my pre-order in for the 2-pack. I'm doing the 2-pack for sure. I wasn't sure initially before I saw the renderings if I was going to get the 2-pack. You know, several weeks ago, I guess, when they first talked about it, I started getting closer, but I realized I have room for that, and I'm going to just make some adjustments to my DC shelf, because I'm not even a big DC fan. Zack Snyder, like I've told you guys before, Zack Snyder kind of really made me really love DC, because I was always a Marvel guy. So I only have his stuff. So I was going to do a Snyderverse shelf, a couple of those, but I'm going to basically drop this in because I have to have this. This is the original Superman for me, you know, as someone who's in their 50s. This is stellar. Love Christopher Reeve's version of it. And it's going to be great to have this come home. Again, just looking at the breakdown, you have for the 2-pack, you've got the flight pole, which is just like they have for Cavill, which it just plugs into the back. You unzip the suit, which is phenomenal. Makes stuff so much easier to, you know, no clamps or nothing like that, damaging the suit or the body, things like that. It's specially built for it. Full array hands, kryptonite. I love the bases. The bases are very elegant. I really liked when I first started collecting the 6 scale, which was just really 2024. I was a big fan of the diorama bases that you get with some Hot Toys, but when I got my first InArt, I really just like how small and elegant the bases are. They look very well done. Like when I can't even put my InArt stuff next to my Hot Toy stuff, because one looks like high-end, very well you know, this design and executed, and the other ones looks like, okay, this was just like a mold they had laying around. So, and I know it's a difference between output and things like that, but end of the day, I do like the InArt bases, so I'm super stoked. And I do use bases on mine. You know, it'd be great if they were magnetic. I know they're not. And even Hot Toys, you know, I just got notification that the Stealth Suit Captain America is going to be shipping. If you look at the Stealth Suit Cap, the Winter Soldier is supposed to drop, and even the Black Widow artisan that drop, those have those kind of really high-end, elegant stands, non-diorama. So Hot Toys has it in them too, so I'm hoping that we'll see more of that, or maybe they'll just give us both and throw the Elegant stand in with the diorama base if you want to do like something like that later on. So, but again, you've got the flight pole, you got the full array of hands, you got the drape cape and wired cape, and I know a lot of people don't collect InArt, but they were kind of freaking out about the fact that the cape is just only wired and they don't want that. If you have that Cavill Superman, you know their drape capes are phenomenal. You don't have to go aftermarket and buy it. There's no Jackson Jew needed. So, but with the Clark, you know, you get the trench coat, briefcase, the glasses, the open shirt, and again for the Superman, offer the single pack. Again, I think this is really good pricing. I think they did a great job on this. I am a huge fan of them not doing rooted hair on this. I've said this before. Not everybody needs rooted hair. I know InArt, that's their big thing, but I don't want them to force rooted hair on a figure that doesn't need it. And it looks like they're maintaining that. Because Cavill Superman, I think it's perfect. Rooted hair would not have made him look better. And same thing for this Christopher Reeve. Absolutely don't want rooted hair on him. You know, when my Wonder Woman coming, absolutely. The BVS Batman that's coming, don't want rooted hair on him either. I've said that before. Something sculpted hair works well on. Hot Toys is really good on their sculpted hair. I do like the sculpted hair on my Cavill, and that's a few years old, so I'm sure InArt will get better at this. But again, this is definitely such a good offering. I think we're gonna be winning on this for sure. And it's gonna live a breakdown offering. Again, you got the two figures, you know, the Clark. And how's mine gonna probably look? I don't know if he's gonna have his hands on his hips, but I'll have him next to Clark. You've got the shirt opening option, you got the drape cape and the wired cape. Then you've got the kryptonite. You know, a lot of people were talking about the physique I think is amazing. I think they captured Christopher Reeve's build awesomely. People are talking about the S logo, how it's got too much texture in it. And that's a creative liberty they took, and I'm fine with that. I'd rather that than something that looked cheap and plasticky, you know, like the original suit looked on the show. I mean, his S did not look fancy, you know, and I do like this turn on it. Yeah, it's not movie accurate, but sometimes you have to take a liberty for a figure, because this is a figure, not a person. And it's 6 scale, so it's not like this is quarter scale, you know, or 3rd scale or full scale. You know, this is 6 scale. So I'm happy with what they've done with this piece here. And again, you got the interchangeable hair pieces for the multiple different looks, which is awesome. I think it's great. One of the complaints too was the fact that the S on the Clark was too low, you know, so because they wanted it to be more visible. And you probably can just adjust that on there, but at the end of the day, it's having the S shown. If you go back to the movie, a lot of the S was shown and it was too low, but you never had Superman standing side by side with Clark like you do here. You know, like the shield's too low. Well, yeah, but that's okay. That the movie did it as well, so you could see the S, not just the bottom part of the S. Because remember, he didn't unbutton his tie or his shirt and take his tie off. It was just loosened, and so he could unbutton and pull it up. Or pull it apart. So I'm okay with this look here. So again, great options, you know, face plates, you know, the look for them is great, the different hair pieces as well. It comes with the bullet, you know, it comes with the kryptonite. Pretty solid offering. So if you guys are picking this up, definitely let me know. You know, comment below if you're picking up the single pack, the double pack, if you're waiting to see if there's something you're gonna get. If you're waiting to see if Hot Toys is going to drop some, because a lot of people are saying this might be another head-to-head with Hot Toys and InArt, because, you know, they went head-to-head with the Corn Sweat Superman, which I didn't pick that up because I did not like that movie at all, not even a little bit. So, but we won't even go there. But so maybe Hot Toys are going to announce this in the next week or two. SECC is not that far away. So you've still got time. They still got time to kind of drop one if they're going to do it, a 2.0. Or maybe they do a Superman Returns. You know, they do like an evil Superman. So we'll see, you know, because they've already got one of those they've done. And a lot of people were super happy with that one. So, but yeah, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if you're getting this, you're picking this up. And if you are, which one you're getting. Again, I'll have links below for 1/6 kit and for InArt non-affiliate links, and I also have Will Foxifications $10 off code there. And hope you guys are, if you are excited about this, definitely let me know. I'm super stoked. This is rounding out my DC shelf pretty well. Like I say, as a non-DC guy, I'm seeming to have more DC figures coming in than I really ever thought I'd have. So I'm making room for it, making some of the adaptations. I'm not increasing my space. I'm just gonna basically let some figures go or decide not to get figures so I can get what really important for me, which is most important is BVS. And then Christopher Reeve Superman, I want to get a Linda Carter. I know Jazzing's gonna do her. So if I get a Linda Carter Wonder Woman, I'm pretty much good on most of my DC, and then I'll probably pick up maybe a Jason Momoa Aquaman. At some point, I already have the Zack Snyder Justice League Cyborg, and so maybe they'll 2.0 him. I'll give us a really shiny version or something like that, kind of like they're doing with the Mando. They did one with the speckling on it in the weather, and then they did one that's super shiny. So maybe they'll do something like that for him, improve likeness, movable eyes. But yeah, DC's coming along really well for me, and let me know what you guys are doing and what you think. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Later.